Hi there, VC. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you are watching this video. This is just a short update. I've been to Gothenburg in Sweden, and I thought I'd just flip through some of the records I bought there. Gothenburg is famous here in Scandinavia for its many excellent record shops, so I found a decent stack of assorted goodies, a mixture of reissues, both old and new, and some originals, so stay tuned. First off, I bought a brand new reissue of Atomic Rooster's second album, called Death Walks Behind You. Excellent stuff. I never see the originals in the used section here in Scandinavia, so I just picked up this one, featuring John Ducan, one of my favorite guitar players, so excellent. Another reissue, a krautrock band called Cluster, and their second album. This is Cluster with a K instead of the C, and this album is called Zwei Osterei. Experimental electronic collage avant-garde music. Excellent, excellent. Originals cost thousands, so a Bureau B reissue suits me fine. Another excellent band. I of course want the original, but I guess I can forget it. It's Cherry 5, and this is sort of the first incarnation of what later became Goblin. And the Goblin were an Italian progressive rock band, and they are famous for writing a lot of the film soundtracks for Dario Argento's B horror movies. But this Cherry 5, their first album as Cherry 5, is the best one I find. Excellent, excellent prog rock with lots of mellotron, time signatures and changes. Excellent, excellent stuff. Wonderful. An official reissue of, I guess it's the Master's Apprentice's first album, originally released on the Astor label in Australia. And this is from 1967 or 68, I believe. They released, I think, 2 or 3 albums before relocating to the UK and releasing a couple of high acclaimed prog rock albums. This is more in the beat rock, garage, rock and roll vein. An okay album. Certainly worth picking up if you can find it for cheap. The newest reissue of Leaf Hound's Growers of Mushroom. Had to have it because Repertoire Records always do a nice job. I have the Akama reissue plus the Dishwasher issue from 78, I believe. Excellent, excellent heavy, hard and heavy rock from the UK, early 70s. Another one which I can forget picking up as an original is Music Emporium and their only album from 1968, I believe, or 69. 2 female members and 2 males. Excellent, excellent psychedelic album. This is so good. I believe this is an unofficial reissue on Fantasia Music. Instead of gatefold sleeve, it has an insert, and it doesn't have the die-cut fold-out cover, but it sounds good. And what amazes me, beside the songwriting, is the female drummer. She is awesome, awesome record. Bought a reissue of Head Machine, Orgasm, even though I have the original on major minor label. This is the French cover, so I had to have it for some reason. so I can give my original a rest. Pretty Things first album, simply called The Pretty Things, found a near mint, certainly excellent plus copy of this one. This is the Wing reissue from 1967. The album was released in 64, 65 on the Fontana label, but was reissued on the Wing label, which is a subdivision of Philips or Fontana. And this is in very, very nice shape. Flip back cover. So I just had to grab it. Very, very cheap. So an old reissue. Another old cheap reissue is UFO 2 Flying 1 Hour Space Rock. I have the original Beacon release. This is the late 70s Nova reissue. It's just like new, so I just had to get it. It was incredibly cheap. A couple of originals I picked up as well. Made in Sweden's third album called Made in England, an original on the Sonnet label. If you're not familiar with Made in Sweden, they were a jazz rock band. Started out in the late 60s with Jojje Wadenius on the guitar. Magnificent stuff. And to complete my Andwella's Dream discography, I bought their, I believe it's their second album called World's End. This is more sort of prog rock, hard rock, melodic hard rock. Excellent album. Their third and last album, I believe, was called People's People. I have that as well, but that's not as good. But of course, this doesn't come close to their first album, Dreams and Poetry. Love and Poetry, sorry. But very cheap to find. This is an original US copy. A couple of, sorry, other cheap ones. Baker Gurvitz Army. This is the original UK Vertigo issue. Excellent stuff from the Gurvitz brothers from Gun. And of course Ginger Baker on drums. My favorite drummer of all time. Their second album called Elysian Encounter from 1975. Excellent stuff and very cheap. I saw Steve Carlson, YouTube's very own Steve Carlson, showing this. And I gave it a listen on YouTube, and it has some decent psych tracks, some weaker tracks as well, but overall a nice, decent, cheap album. The Glitter House, Colorblind. And here it says it's the first edition. I guess they all have that written on the cover. So, excellent, cheap psych, okay record. And I found a decent stack of original US psych and garage albums. First off, I found a pristine copy of The Human Beings with the Mammals, released, recorded before The Human Beings had any commercial success, and released when they gained commercial success, so kind of an exploito release. It's called Nobody But Me, and here the Human Beings are doing cover tunes. Pied Piper, My Generation, Gloria, The Times They Are Changing, and Nobody But Me. And coupled with the Mammals on the B-side, which sound quite similar. An okay garage psych album from 67. And look at that. Crisp and white on the back. No ring wear or spotting at all. On the original Gateway label. So, I just had to pick it up. Another pristine US psych example is this one. Circus Maximus, a quite competent psych album. I don't like every track on this, but it certainly has a bunch of cool songs. Some of the songs with a bit harder edge I favor, I guess. But look at that cover. That's awesome. Can't leave such specimens behind, can you? On the original Vanguard Stereo Lab label. Upside down. The upside down edition. So, couple more to go before I leave you alone in the summer heat. My god, it's hot here. Been looking for this for years, and a couple of videos back I showed a copy I found finally, and then just a couple of weeks later another copy of The Travel Agency. And you know me, I'm a hoarder. When you spend many years looking for an album and suddenly find two, of course you buy both. Stupid, but that's the way it is. Another cheapie in the shrink, Bangor Flying Circus on the ABC Dunhill label. I don't find this a magnificent album. It has a couple of good tracks and a couple of not so memorable tracks, but a cool, mellow, progressive psych rock album. Not too memorable. I can understand why this is cheap, but this was in such good condition I just had to buy it, of course, for a very nice and cheap sum. Now I found one holy grail which I've been looking for a long time, and it's been shown in the VC quite a bit, but I've never seen a copy until the other day. Elmer Gantry's Velvet Opera, the original UK issue in stereo with the stereo sticker on the Direction label. A fantastic, overlooked psychedelic masterpiece in my opinion. This is the original Direction label, and I believe this also exists very scarcely in mono, but my standout tracks here are of course Mother Rights and Reactions of a Young Man, Flames, Long Nights of Summer. Just a fantastic album. So I just have to give this a spin right now. Thanks for watching, and thanks to all you new subscribers. I really appreciate that. Slowly getting towards 600 subscribers. Awesome. That means there are more psych heads than me. So have a nice summer, and let's hope for a bit cooler days not too far away. Bye for now.